Welcome to the Community Difference Plano. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. And hosted by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group. And sponsored by Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Tyler Clifton with Harvest Business Solutions. Jim Thomas, Business Consulting and Funding. Scott Johnson with Fireboss Realty. Diane Castle with Castle to Castle. Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators. Assia Mahmood with Windhaven Academy. Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel. And by Megan Schaffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured.
The Community Difference Plano was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Plano starts now.
Good morning, Plano. Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. It's a 11:32 in the morning, a lovely Wednesday morning, lovely for Texas, I guess. It's not 105 degrees, so that's anytime we can get in the 80s. It's a good thing. I'm your host, Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group. We specialize in guiding your personal finances and offering tailored small business solutions. We've got a fantastic show for you. It's our last week of the month. We're going to wrap up what I think is a really, really powerful topic: developing strategic partnerships that create new business together. We're going to dive into that during our second segment. But first, I want to get right to introducing our incredible co-hosts and guest today. Then we'll take a break. We'll dive into some of the things that are happening in and around the city of excellence, the great city of Plano. Have a special guest during that time that we'll introduce you to as well. So let's get right to it today. He is a devoted family man who cherishes faith and family above all. He's the owner of Harvest Business Solutions. He guides business owners to strengthen their corporate credit profiles, ensuring they find secure funding without risking personal assets. He's got a phenomenal family. He embodies integrity, dedication, and empowerment in both his professional and personal life. His mission is to empower entrepreneurs to achieve financial security and growth while upholding the family values. Please welcome Tyler Clifton. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nathan. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I heard in the pre-show that you were a little under the weather last week, so we're glad that you made it. We're glad that you're here. I assume you still haven't learned to play the piano, as our conversation last time in the background there.
I've been working on it.
Well, good. What are you most excited about this morning?
I'm most excited about being here with you guys, and then also talking about strategic partnerships. And I'm super excited about the launch of Harvest and what we've got going on here at Harvest.
Well, I won't give the details you shared in the pre-show, but it sounds like things are going really well, and that's couldn't be more happy for you in that regard. Let's bring in your counterpart this morning, owner of Windhaven Academy, a child care center dedicated to early education, nutrition, and parent communication, children 0 to 5. Recognized for her impact in the workforce and community. She is an author and advocate for female entrepreneurship. She hosts the She Busy podcast, where she discusses leadership and business success, guiding female entrepreneurs to develop a CEO mindset. Please welcome Assia Mahmood.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. It is by another 25 minutes. So glad you're here. We were talking again. Both of you guys have been fighting back the illness bug the last month, and it's I'm glad to see y'all push through and made it. That's good. What are you most excited about today?
I'm excited to be here, like Tyler said, and I'm excited. We have a fun week planned at Windhaven. We're actually our pre-K class is graduating on Friday, so we're super excited about that. So we're planning and getting ready and prepared for that. So it's been a fun week.
Well, that's awesome. Let's bring in our guests. He's been involved in real estate since 2012. Oddly enough, that's when he and I both met, beginning with property investments. He became a licensed real estate agent in 2017, distinguished himself with a commitment to excellence, a keen understanding of the market, and a personalized approach to client services. Recently got married, man, we're so happy for that, to his wonderful wife, Jamie, in November, and they are already expecting their first child. Man, he didn't waste any time. He's dedicated to his clients. That sets him apart as a great realtor. Deep market knowledge, strong negotiation skills, and unwavering integrity ensures that his clients receive the best possible guidance and support. Please welcome Reed Rogers.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I was kind of joking, but not joking. You guys y'all didn't waste any time growing your family. I love it.
We're not wasting any time at all. We're the first one is due almost exactly 1 year after we got married.
Hey,
So,
that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
And you told me that you would like to have more on the horizon, so that's exciting.
Yeah, probably at least one more. We'll see. We'll see if number 3, get back to me after number 2 arrives, and then I'll let you
Yeah.
know if
Well,
number 3 is in the works.
I will tell you this, when and maybe Assia, you can speak to that. Right after your Jamie gives birth is not the time to figure out if there will be more children.
Yeah,
So
right. I can
think
imagine.
after our son was born, I think no more.
Yeah.
It's like a 23-hour labor. It was rough. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
then
I
within
can
a couple
imagine.
months, she's like, we could have more. I'm like, yeah, she's rocking.
Okay.
So,
That's
yeah,
my
within a
next
few
question.
months.
How long?
just know the
Yeah.
time frame. Yeah.
Yeah, within a
yeah,
few
focus
months,
on
you'll
the
be
one.
ready.
Okay, good to know.
What
Good to
are
know.
you most excited about, Reed, today?
Well, in my industry, in residential real estate, if you follow the industry very closely, you probably have seen headlines about the recent NAR settlement, which is making some pretty major changes to the industry as a whole. And overall, those are good changes. I think they'll result in more transparency and will be beneficial for home buyers and home sellers. So that would be at the top of my list.
Well, that's good. That's good. I know we have a lot of mortgage and real estate professionals that are either guests or co-hosts on other weeks, and so I'm sure they're equally waiting on how that's going to affect the market long term. Well, let's bring in our last guest. Last but certainly not least, she's the managing shareholder of Starr Law Firm, specializes in complex business, real estate, estate planning, tax matters. Board certified in estate planning and probate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, with 10 years of legal experience serving clients in Collin County, Grayson, Dallas, Denton, Tarrant, basically all of Texas, it seems like. She's known for handling complicated cases and developing unique creative solutions for her clients. She believes in seeing the big picture and understanding that every person and family is a unique situation. Please welcome to the show, Laura Starr.
Hi.
Hey. We were having some video trouble in the pre-show, so now we know what you look like.
Yes, I do exist. I'm not just a voice with no head.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we were gonna let you be a voice if we couldn't figure it out. But how long have you and Assia known each other?
Since my daughter started at her wonderful
there you
school
go.
there, and she
So
absolutely loves it. So it's fantastic.
You're a testament to the greatness of Windhaven. That's
I
good.
am. We absolutely love it. She loves it, and my nephew attends there as well, and he's really happy. We're all very happy there.
What are you most excited about this morning, Laura?
Talking with all of you, being here, that my video works. That's
Yeah.
so fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the conversation today.
Well, we're looking forward to it as well. Let's get right into it. We're going to hit our first commercial break, enjoy our sponsors, and we'll come right back with What's Up Plano, figure out what you need to know that is affecting our great city that we need to talk about this morning. So stick around. We'll be right back.
The Community Difference Plano is made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Jim Thomas, business consultant and business funding expert, Tyler Clifton with Harvest Business Solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Assia Mahmood with Windhaven Academy, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, Scott Johnson with Fireboss Realty, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, and by Megan Schaffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Plano?
What's Up Plano, brought to you by the Great Voodoo Brewery, new brewery in downtown Plano. If you're looking for a fantastic spot to unwind, grab a delicious craft beer, and support local, look no further than Voodoo Brewery. They're not your typical chain. This Voodoo Brewery is locally owned and operated, and so you're giving back to the community when you visit. They have a huge selection of beers, including some unique offerings. They have one called Our Totally Righteous West Coast IPA. So if you take the time to say that, you're going to get a phenomenal beer with good vibes, 5 times in the kettle and double dry hop with gnarly amounts of Galaxy Amarillo Mosaic to produce a bodacious, dank, tropical fruit notes. I didn't understand half of those words, but if you're a big IPA fan, hopefully you did. Of course, they have a wide variety of other beers, delicious pub fare, and a family-friendly environment. We'll actually be there for our happy hour tomorrow as well at 5 p.m. So come out and join us. If you say you heard about them from The Difference, you'll get 20% off on your first beer. They're also doing a Christmas in July event, which is going to be kind of co-mingled with our happy hour. And so it's going to be a great time to come out and meet some phenomenal people, maybe do some early Christmas shopping. I guess it's never too early. They start earlier and earlier this year. So we're going to try to wear our Christmas sweaters. That may be a terrible decision, but it'll be fun. And we'll see how it goes from there. But let's kick it over to Assia. Assia, you've got some exciting things to share this morning.
Yeah, in Plano. So as you may know, I am on the women's division for the Plano Chamber of Commerce, and we are doing our very first Women in Business Summit in October. It will be October 9th in the morning. We are going to have a good turnout. We're excited about what we're offering. We have some great panelists that'll be on there. The panel is going to be women who are in male-dominated industries. We're going to have some good main stage speakers, and I actually will be hosting a live episode of my podcast on stage at this event as well. So I'm super excited about that. We do have availability for sponsorships for tables for any businesses or business owners that want to be a part of it. And if you just want to attend, tickets will start to be released and marketing will start here at the end of July, beginning of August. So look out for that. It's going to be exciting. It's our very first one, and we're really happy and excited to offer this for the women of Plano and beyond.
And give us the dates again.
It is October 9th.
Okay.
About 8:30 in the morning to 12:30.
So Tyler and Reed, we won't be invited to that, I don't think.
You're welcome to come. We do sometimes have men trickle in. We are not discriminating in any way, but it is made for women in business.
I think we'll just go play golf that morning. Lyndon, you want to come with us? That'll I know that's a big passion of yours. We talked about that in your bio, but I think that's really exciting that you guys are starting that. Now, if you want to sponsor, what can you give us the website or the option to do that again?
Yeah, you can actually go to the Plano Chamber website and you're able to get more information on there. I'll post on the community difference page when we do release like more information on the speakers and everybody that's coming up, but just getting people excited and ready for the first event is what I wanted to talk about today, but everything will be available on the Plano Chamber website.
Well, wonderful. I want to bring in now, and Lyndon, you can bring in Angela Powell. Angela, good morning to you. See if she loads here. There we go. Good morning, Angela. How are you doing? Oh, can you hear me? Good morning. How are you this morning?
Great.
Perfect. Well, Angela.
Great. And
I was going to say, Angela serves on the school board for Plano, but she's here just as a community leader. She's an entrepreneur in her own right, and just wanted to share a couple of updates that I think will be very important from especially a parent standpoint of Plano ISD. And let's start with you. You mentioned that there's a new parent portal that's going to make communication, I think, a lot better. If you want to, will you start with that, please?
oh yes, of course. Our parent portal is now called Skyward Family Access, and so I've worked with Skyward program before. And so we are transitioning from the old system to the new system, Skyward. So parents will be having easier access to reviewing grades, check the schedules of your students, view upcoming assignments for the students, all in one portal, all in one access portal. And parents will now be able to easily keep track of the students' attendance when your student is attending each class, manage fees and payments in one portal, and access other important information. Like for instance, test scores.
So you can't lie to your parents and say you went to school if you didn't, because they'll just be like, it says right here that you were not there. So that's good to know. Okay. And what else?
Yes, and Skyward now.
That's good. And so it's just all like everything they would want to know is consolidated into one spot is basically what you're saying.
Yes, definitely. In this year, it's all consolidated. Before the previous years, because I've been a mom in the district for over 14 years because I had 3 kids, and my youngest is actually graduating this year. So the thing is that previous years you would have to do payments on a different site, and so now it's all in Skyward, and Skyward is the leading student and business software solution for K-12 to education institutions. And then with this new access, it's easier to register returning families. And so returning families can start registering this Monday already, Monday, July 22nd.
Okay.
And to access it, you would go through www.pisd.edu/familyaccesshelp.com.
So if you're listening and you're a parent of a Plano student or a new student going into kindergarten, this is actually really exciting. You probably didn't have the previous version if you're a brand new parent of a new student, but this is going to be more exciting. Anytime we can consolidate, I mean, we learned this in our own businesses. Anytime we can consolidate something where you're not having to pull from multiple sources to get something done, that's definitely a good thing. Another big part of the school year is obviously all the programs, all the things that go on that require volunteer hours, specifically around the PTA. There are a number of opportunities in Plano. Let's talk about those.
Oh, yes. Volunteers and mentors are an important part of Plano ISD educational team. So, yes, it's very, we're so happy and so thankful for exceptional people who give their time and energy to our schools and to make it stronger. So PTA now, to volunteer, you would go into the volunteer online access link, which is Volley Volunteer. So VOLY volunteer application. Go into the link, fill out the Volley volunteer application, and then it's going to do a quick criminal history check on you, and then it'll approve you eventually, very quickly. I have been a PTA mom for 14 years, and I'm about to serve my 8th year on the school board.
Wow, 8 years. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Now, you also mentioned that there's some changes coming to dual credit and how they're being calculated. Let's start here. If somebody doesn't know what dual credit means, can you just give a quick definition before you talk about the changes that are coming?
Yes. Dual credit is when you can take a high school course and get college credit with calling college. So the thing is that a dual credit used to be a 4.5 GPA credit weight, but now we've moved it. We allow students now, because it's a very challenging course, we have moved it to equalize the dual credit GPA to reflect the commitment that enables students to take different pathways to dual credit. So now the GPA weight will be 5.0 out of 4.0.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're saying, does that mean that it's counting more towards college than it did, or less?
Yes.
Okay. Counting more. Okay.
More towards high school GPA than before. So,
okay.
Yeah. So we're giving it more weight now. So dual credit is going to get more weight, just like AP classes, advanced placement classes, is going to get more weight. So that students who do not want to take AP classes can now take dual credit classes, with college credit, and get the same GPA weight. So your typical GPA starts with 4.0, and we're going to move it to heavier weight of 5.0 for dual credit.
And I don't know if you ask you guys this question. I've always been
this move is going.
Hold on, I've always been confused with why you take a high school class and then basically you take the same class again your basic years of college. And I just thought, man, if we could combine that there's a lot of extra learning of the same subject, right? Just be able to, because you literally go from learning U.S. history and then you learn it again your freshman year of college. So if you can get that dual credit, I think that's certainly a good thing. Now, you don't want to be like me and take college credit courses and get no credit.
Well, actually, Nathan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nathan, for dual credit, some university is going to take for.
Oh, well, I think we were having some technical issues there with Angela. Hopefully, could y'all hear her okay on your end?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a delay. Well,
hopefully there was just a delay.
Yeah, hopefully, Lyndon, if she pops back in. Well, the last question I wanted to ask her, and I'll ask you guys this. And you may not know this if Reed, you probably won't know this because you have your first one on the way. But for those of you that have children and have experienced or around families with kids, what I wanted to ask Angela was, now we're about 3 years past the remote learning that was kind of forced by COVID, whether you agree with it or not. I want to know if you guys have seen any, or what are the residual effects of that? Good, bad, ugly. I haven't seen any, have seen any, and I'd like to ask Assia, because I know that you're obviously younger kids, but you're around those circles, and if you've seen any, like, is it set people back? What are the long-term social implications that you've seen from that? Are they starting to manifest at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall we've seen, even in the younger age group, we've seen some sort of, more behavioral issues, more issues with social interaction since COVID, even without just the remote learning. But I remember when we had some remote learning kids that were in the school, they were doing the remote learning at Windhaven. We were offering that service and they were in kindergarten, but it was like, they might as well not have been doing anything. They were like... like one girl would just get up in the middle and just walk around, and then the kids were just talking over each other. The teacher would start talking about something and they would be like, haha, you have something in the background. Like, they were not, and she couldn't round them up. So I don't personally know. I mean, I don't think anyone speaks in the early childhood age for what the implications were for the virtual learning, but I can only imagine that it probably held people back a little bit, because I can't imagine that they learn much, especially in those younger years, the kindergarten, first, second grade years. But I'm hoping that they're making up for it, and then and being able to socially interact now is hopefully helping them.
Tyler, and I know you have young kids. What have you seen?
Well, I also have a 15-year-old son who's autistic, and with him, having the special needs that he has, it definitely took a toll as far as his advancement. And, one of the things with him is the constant interaction with other people that he needs. He doesn't necessarily like it in particular because he is autistic, but it's something that he needs to continue his development. And so it was I think it was a setback for him having to go to remote for that amount of time. But I'm thankful that he's been able to get back in, and he's adjusted fairly well. But that's definitely something that we saw on our side.
Well, I want to go back to Angela here before we go to our break. And what we were talking about was the last thing I wanted to bring up to you, and to see if, as a mom and just being around the school district, have you seen any, residual effects of those? I don't know how many total months it was of remote learning in 2020 and 21. But down the pipeline, has there been effects of that are starting to manifest that you've seen, good or bad, or just kind of neutral?
Well, the thing is that we saw in every school district that after the pandemic related closures, that students did have a little academic dip, and that was expected. But that happened the first year. But now that our students are bouncing back, they're bouncing back quickly. And if you follow our students by the cohorts, you will see that the students are growing in academic achievement.
Well, that's good. So it took a little while, but you feel like it's kind of got back to where it was pre-COVID, you think?
Well, it's growing, it's increasing, because the thing is that it was a big dip in the first year, but now they're bouncing back, and that you will see the growth now I would say that the cohorts, the different grade levels that are going through each year, they're actually increasing each year. So yes, they're bouncing back to where they're about to used to be.
Okay, perfect. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Angela, for being on. I appreciate you coming on and sharing some things, some updates around the school district. I know you've been serving there for a long time, and as obviously not only as a citizen, a business owner, and a mom, that all these things are very important to you. And you've been a great friend of the show over the years, and also a friend and a servant of Plano. So when we come back, we're going to hit our commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to jump into our topic today. We're going to wrap up the last week of talking about going beyond referrals, how to develop strategic partnerships that are beneficial, right? That bring about the long-lasting relationships that help us to not be chasing referrals, but be developing the right partnerships that will help all of our businesses thrive. Stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Frisco Fighters prepare to reach new heights at Comerica Center this spring. From competitive matchups to exciting theme nights, you won't want to miss a second of the action. Join us and experience high-scoring, hard-hitting indoor football that's fun for the whole family to enjoy. Visit FriscoFighters.com for game highlights, tickets, or to reserve your spot at the Tarmac Tailgate Party.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Enjoy DFW's most fun, affordable night out and catch the Rough Riders, the AA affiliate of the Rangers, at beautiful Riders Field in Frisco. The Riders are back home July 23rd through 28th. The weekend opens with Military Appreciation Night on July 26th, the return of Corny Dogs Night with North Texas Fair and Rodeo on the 27th, and A Night About Nothing, a tribute to Seinfeld on the 28th. Don't miss fireworks on Friday and Sunday as well. Get your tickets at ridersbaseball.com. The Frisco Rough Riders, the future stars of your Texas Rangers.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back. As you saw during the break, a number of our fantastic sponsors, the Mesquite Rodeo, the Frisco Rough Riders, and the Frisco Fighters. Frisco Fighters are in the playoffs, which is very exciting. And we actually have 10 playoff tickets that we want to give away. If you want to comment Frisco Fighters, hashtag Frisco Fighters, or reach out to us in any of our community groups, we will get you those tickets to join us there. Speaking of the Frisco Fighters, we have an amazing event. Our very first, we're partnering with them. They have been hosting a networking event there for a few months at the Comerica Center, and we're partnering with them in an effort to kind of bring different networks together. It's going to be at the Chalk Club Lounge on this Saturday, 9:30. The Community Difference Business Development Alliance, in partnership with the Frisco Fighters and the Dallas Stars. It's going to be a mixer. We're going to have a little breakfast coffee there. Come meet some great professionals. As we build these communities out, what we're going to be doing is, this is kind of a mixer, but we're going to be launching specific community business development alliance, we'll call them chapters, kind of like networking groups, but we're going to be going through some phenomenal material that's actually going to teach you some things that we talk about on the show here, right? Taking some of these concepts like what we're talking about today, and not just glossing it, not just spitting out a bunch of words, but actually helping our local business owners do these things that are going to help grow their business, help them be seen, be heard, be remembered, to build their know, like, and trust, to build their top of mind strategies, their credibility, to be that voice, that expert in the community, that reference point in the community. And so as we get ready to launch these individual chapters, I think we're calling them, we don't know what we're calling them yet for sure, but just be attuned to the community pages as we drop those announcements. But we're doing a mixture, kind of getting the word out there, but also want to continue our partnership with really phenomenal partnership with the Frisco Fighters and the All-Stars this Saturday morning. So please come out and see us, 9:30 to 11. It's just going to be a kind of a hangout. We'll get to know you and your business and start building. Hey, we'll go beyond referrals together, and we'll build some great business as we do that. So let's jump in. Speaking of, that was a kind of a choppy segue, but we'll go with it. Beyond referrals, developing strategic partners that can create new business together. And we're really talking about today, focusing on creating formal mutual agreements and utilizing influencer partnerships. What do we mean by that? Well, anytime you're partnering, whether it be for a cause, whether it's cost-based marketing, whether you're trying to do a digital campaign with another business, where you're just doing some cross-pollination advertising, maybe hosting an event at their location, vice versa. There's 1,000 different ways to create new business together. You do want to make sure that you have the agreement, the expectations, how you guys are both going to benefit from this endeavor outlined in a kind of formal agreement. The importance of that is protecting both parties, but also just making sure that, one person's not doing all the work and that you're actually both benefiting from what you do. And so it's extremely important. So I want to start out to Assia. I want to ask you, you're obviously very passionate about developing female entrepreneurs, empowering female entrepreneurs, and you have a lot of partnerships, a lot of creation partners that you've created yourself. What are some examples of, or maybe you haven't yet, maybe there's something that may just come to your mind, but can you share some examples that you have, created the formal partnership where, this is how we're both going to benefit each other, this is the expectations, vice versa, and how that has gone?
Yeah, actually, I have a couple of examples. Yesterday I was on a call with someone. I do a lot of different coffee chats with other female entrepreneurs, and I was on a call with someone yesterday. She works in the HR world, helping other businesses to develop their HR systems, and that works really well hand in hand for what I do and on my consulting side. So we kind of came up with an agreement. We are formalizing it right now, but we decided to work together. She has a podcast, I have a podcast. We're going to do a podcast swap, and then talking together about doing kind of an affiliate agreement. So like when I'm able to offer her to my clients as help and vice versa. That was something that happened yesterday. And actually, I don't know if you guys remember, but last week or last month when I had Alexa on, she was a sleep consultant. And so she and I are actually partnering together to do an in-person event at Windhaven. So on the Windhaven side, she's a sleep consultant. I help with childcare. And so we are planning an in-person event at the facility for other working moms. And so we're excited about that. And that's going to be more of a formal partnership as well. And I've been working on that a little bit more. which has been fun. I feel like a lot of times people network with just the idea of like, let me just get business from this person. And I've been networking a lot with the mindset of trying to build relationships with people, because you never know what kind of opportunities are going to come up, and formalizing those and building those strategic partnerships has been a really fun part of the process and has opened up a lot of doors that I wasn't expecting. So I've really enjoyed that.
Laura, in the world of legal practice, specializing in the business endeavors that you do, obviously agreements and formal documentation is a big part of law. How do you see this, the agreements that you come up with your partners in your business, or other partnerships that you've created? How have you seen that be beneficial to a successful outcome, or work towards a successful outcome?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do like documenting things, and I do like agreements.
Important in the legal world, isn't it?
Yeah, right. That's shocking, I know. But it would really, formalizing anything and coming to an agreement, even if it's a more verbal or more less formal than maybe writing it down in some sort of contract, but it really helps when you define the specific measurable goals that each partner's looking for in the relationship, whether it be how you expand it, how you're both going to help with client acquisition, revenue targets, whatever the case might be. What's the expectation in marketing? Who's responsible for the social media aspect, who's not responsible for the social media aspect. Just setting up that regular communication, formalizing it so everybody understands what's expected from each party, and that there's not, I think somebody added, there's not overlap, there's not I'm doing 100% of the work and you're just showing up. It really helps to help define it and keep it mutually beneficial for both parties.
That makes a lot of sense. Tyler, let me ask you this, because you're obviously rebranded recently, got some exciting things going on in the world of you're actually working with other businesses as your business, which is very important. But I know, have partnerships in different arenas that try to build business together. Kind of the same question to you. How have you seen this approach of really outlining the expectations and kind of putting it on paper be useful in making sure that everybody is kind of tracking with the process and what they expect to achieve out of working together?
Yeah, I mean, so at the heart of what we do, right, it's to try and help businesses grow and scale and to become more efficient. And so, one of the things I've always found that's extremely important in any relationship is expectations. And so having those expectations outlined, you can set and you can talk about that, but we only retain a certain amount of information that we hear verbally. And so putting those expectations and those understandings down in a formal agreement is something that I have found extremely beneficial. We call it our Center of Influence network. And everyone that's in my Center of Influence network, they have a formal agreement on file with me, and it shows exactly what they can expect when they send a referral to me from a monetary standpoint. They know exactly what they can expect from a service standpoint on my side, what those clients are going to receive from me. And one of the other things that's made it a lot easier for us is having the ability to send digital documents. So having DocuSign and electronic agreements has made it a lot easier to do that as well. I don't know if anyone else on the panel has experienced that, but it's made it a lot easier for us.
So it's a lot more efficient than sending a carrier pigeon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice to have like a well, reading the real estate world. I know you have partnerships, obviously, with your clients and agents, and perhaps you're expanding your reach with other business partnerships. But can you kind of highlight some examples of how these agreements have helped ensure, I guess, accountability, satisfaction on both sides?
Well, you're exactly right. It's all about accountability, and as Laura and Tyler mentioned, really clearly defining the expectations for everyone involved is critically important, in my opinion. And so, for example, if I'm meeting with a client before any formal agreement's in place, I'll spell out not exactly, but a very thorough list of everything that I'll do. And then I also make it clear that, hey, if you're buying a home, there's only so much that I can do for you. There's still some work involved from the buyer or on the listing side for the seller. So clearly defining those roles is critical, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And doing so as soon as possible, right up front, with like maybe even the very first conversation.
Well, and you find this in business in general. I mean, you see this in politics, you see it in life, you see it, anytime you have, handshakes are nice, but understanding what the expectations are of any party involved in anything is going to be important, because, you don't want to take the time. The reason that creating new business is important in these measures that we've talked about this month is because they may take a little more time to set up, but they're self-sustaining long term. So it's important to make sure that, whether it be like talking about the templates of expectation, utilizing digital tools like DocuSign, like Tyler talked about, and then kind of coming back to those on a regular basis and making sure both parties are meeting the expectation. You realize you're not spinning your wheels, that this is actually a useful endeavor, because if you're going to take your time to do something, you want to make sure that it's fruitful for everybody involved. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the other side, and really the last point of this really robust topic that we've been on this month is looking at utilizing influencer marketing, influencer partnerships. Now, full transparency, that was a term, like, I'm a social media influencer. I hated that term. It seems so, like, I don't know, just didn't seem cool. I didn't want to be, but I have bit the bullet, and I've realized that that's where the world is. And it's actually a really good way to associate with someone that's doing something big in your space. Okay. And it could be in a different space too. I mean, you don't have to limit these partnerships, as we talked about a couple weeks ago. They don't have to necessarily align with what you're doing. You want to align with the values. Okay. But a realtor and a person that owns a hair salon could partner up, and with the right digital campaign or the right collaborative, cause-based collaboration, they could generate new business together. It's just about how high level you see the opportunity. And so an influencer is obviously a very good way to do that, right? First is identifying the right people that are engaging with the audience that you want to connect with. Okay. And then collaborating with, podcasts like we're doing now, webinars, social media, digital campaigns, funny reels, whatever the there's options are limitless at that point. And then taking the time to, again, obviously you don't want to go into those without a formal agreement, but then measure, hey, is this actually effective, and make changes from there. So let's start with you, Laura. I don't know a ton of your background from a legal perspective, but have you guys explored this avenue? Is this the first time you're thinking about this? Have you seen, I'm sure we've all seen this work with other businesses, but where do you stand on this as a viable option to grow your business?
I think partnering with partners with complementary skills, services, products are always a big benefit and can enhance both businesses, especially if it's an industry. The legal industry isn't the most social media savvy, I'll say. Most of us, I certainly am not. I let somebody else handle that. But it's great if I can identify partners that have a little more outreach and have a little more flexibility in that what they can do on social media, that we can benefit both. And it's not just necessarily, I think Assia touched on this, Nathan, you touched on this shortly, especially as a female business owner. It's not just looking at who can build business for me or get a job or needs a job. It's touching on other aspects of our lives, of who can help us to learn more about taking care of not only our businesses, but ourselves, who can help us learn that work-life balance, who, for females, how can we collaborate with someone that can teach us more self-care while balancing it with growing our business and generating revenue income for both of us. So I think that's something I need to look more into probably, but I think it's definitely something all businesses should focus on.
Well, Assia, I know you're good friends with a guest we had on a couple weeks ago. with the Plano Moms podcast, Abby, or not podcast, but the Plano Moms group. And she's almost to influencer status, I would say, with her popularity in the Plano community. And I know that the work that you're doing with the She Busy podcast, guiding other female entrepreneurs, have you began utilizing partnerships in this way to, with we'll call them influencers, to expand your brand, build your credibility? And if so, what have you identified as, hey, this is actually working, or this is, some things to take away from this process?
So yeah, I mean, I've looked into it, especially with the Windhaven side, but what I came to realize quickly was if someone is an influencer, they're well known in the space, and like protecting their privacy and their child's privacy is usually pretty important to them. So it was kind of one of those things where, if someone's an influencer, they don't really want everyone knowing where their kid is going to school. So that was a little bit of a challenge for us in that space. So I decided to respect people's privacy and not head in that direction. I am very easily influenced by people on social media.
Yeah, I think we're all victim to that. That's not the problem. That's why this is such a good strategy.
That's why it's a great strategy. So, but we're getting into the product side with the children's products, and that's where I've been exploring more of the influencer strategy, is because the products are so much easier to get an influencer on board with. You can share with them the actual product for free, have them. But I've just started dabbling in it because honestly, like, I've spent so much time, like, the strategy works, but I just don't know where to even start to find people in that space. I know there are companies that will help you identify influencers that are in the right space for you. And that's a great business model, I think, because while influencer marketing can work in many different avenues, not for my daycare, but in other avenues, I'm sure, it can be hard sometimes to identify who the influencer is that you want to work with, and then also to be able to get in touch with them, because the ones who have more of a following are harder to get to actually promote you, and the ones who have less of a following, they just have less of a following. So I feel like it's new for me to get into influencer marketing. So if anyone has any tips to be better at it, I'm just not.
I was just
as
going to
versed
say,
as
I
I
mean,
should be.
I was going to say that you could do this without mentioning Windhaven, and it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that goes to Windhaven at the same time. You can market your values. I mean, you talk about
Right.
parent education, you talk about family involvement, you talk about nutrition, things that are important that are lacking in other schools or other childcare facilities that do what you do. And so you
Right.
can market those values, which is really more about your brand and who you are. And then if you combine that with an influencer that shares those values, or at least is in the childcare early education space, you don't have to risk the privacy of, hey, I don't want to people know that all my kids go to Windhaven for security standpoint. So
That's an interesting take. I'll definitely have to consider that. I haven't looked
that was
into
certainly
that
an option. Well, right before we go to break, I want to talk to Reed. We were talking in the I think when we were kind of preparing the other day, and I see a lot of what you do on social media. Have you considered looking into what we talked about with the influencer partnerships, or have you thought about that before? Do you see that happening in the industry a lot?
I see some realtors partner up with each other. I'm really, full disclosure, just recently really decided to start focusing on my social media. And so I guess as far as like partnering up with influencers, I'm just not quite there yet. I'm just focused on, turning out consistent content that people will find interesting and useful. I would love to be able to partner with Ryan Serhant or somebody like that, who's basically a household name at this point, and probably the most famous real estate agent in the world. And it's a little bit unrealistic at this point, but let's just say partnering with an influencer on my to-do list, but not on my immediate to-do list.
Okay. Well, and that's, the questions that really we have to think about is, and this is just kind of putting a bow on the whole topic, is that everybody can see, like what Reed just said, he sees the value of all these different things that we've talked about over the last month. as far as building new partnerships and going beyond just referrals. Like, we're not against referrals, obviously, but referrals are something you have to chase. And we want to build a pipeline of relationships that bring the business that we need perpetually. And thus we get to use our influence to then bless other business owners as well and bring the business that they need. And we get this ecosystem of connectivity and networking that is really the genesis of what networking is supposed to actually be. Unfortunately, it falls short of that a lot of times. This is why I'm so excited about what we're doing with the Business Development Alliance, is because we want to really be teaching people how to do these things. And step one is, it's like the old adage when you go to counseling. Step one, realize you have a problem. Step one, realize that you're referral dependent, right? Step two, figure out what strategy is going to work best within the context of your business, your market, what your ideal demographic is, et cetera. And then go out and seek these things and then set up a timeline to do it. Because if you're like me, I've got a lot of great ideas. Unless they're on paper with a timeline, they are just great ideas. And so that's a really important next step, is figuring out, okay, all right, I like what you said, Nathan, about influencer marketing. Okay, well, what do I do? Well, first, go find somebody that is reasonable to partner with. Figure out, what, get in touch with them, obviously, first of all, and then talk about how you can help each other, because your brand, your desire, maybe it's different, maybe it's smaller than a particular influencer, but if you guys align on values, or you align on certain causes, or you align on, the story, your story, what you're telling, you have a lot of people that you can partner with that will help bolster your brand and vice versa. And then you just, you're off to the races at that point. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll dive in with Reed, with Angela, with Laura. We'll get to know them a little more on a personal level. We're just going to ask them the most detailed, deepest question imaginable. I'm just kidding. Everybody panicked. I saw that. But we'll get to know them on a more personal level. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Hey Texans, hold on to your hats. The Mesquite Championship Rodeo, newest sponsor partner of the Community Difference shows, is back, bigger and better than ever. Witness the heart-pounding action as the best riders in the world compete for glory. Feel the thrill of the chase, the raw power of nature, and the unbreakable spirit of the West. Don't miss your chance to be part of the legend. Get your tickets now for the Mesquite Championship Rodeo, or win yours free just for watching the Community Difference shows.
Are you searching for fast, reliable, and affordable heating and air solutions in the Wiley, Sac C, Murphy, Garland, Rowlett, Levon, Richardson, Plano, and Allen areas of Texas? Then look no further than Martin Heating and Air LLC. With over 15 years of experience, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch service tailored to your specific needs. Don't let a broken HVAC unit ruin your comfort. Call us today at 469-380-9864 or visit our website to schedule an appointment. Martin Heating and Air LLC, your trusted partner for all your heating and air conditioning needs.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
Buying a home? It should be an exciting time, not a stressful one. At Proven National Title, we understand that buyers want fast, reliable, transparent, seamless, convenient title and closing services. Therefore, our services are not limited to our office or yours. Let Jackie Tobar and all the fine folks at Proven National Title help make your dream of homeownership a reality. Call us today for a smooth and stress-free closing. Contact us at 972-752-8540 or email at jackie.tobar@provennationaltitle.com. Proven National Title. Give me one and I'll earn the rest.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
And now, back to the show.
Welcome back. As I mentioned before, we have rodeo tickets as well. The rodeo goes through August 31st, which is my birthday, actually. So you want to write that down. You can send all gifts and cards to 29. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to put my address out there. Speaking of birthdays, though, I don't want to forget this. Angela, it is your husband's birthday. I think you're muted, but we can get, if you want to give him a quick shout out, just unmute yourself there. I think you're still muted. I don't know. There we go. Give him a shout out today. Simon, his birthday, right? Your husband?
Okay, there we go.
How old is Simon today?
Yes. Happy birthday to my son, my husband.
How
he's only, I mean, he's a young guy, so I don't think he wants everybody to know how old he is.
That's okay.
But, yeah, he's over 50.
Okay, that's good enough. Well, I want to start with you. Serving school board for 8 years and obviously been an integral part of the Plano community as a mom and as a business owner. What originally drew you to your profession as an entrepreneur, but then also to serving the Plano community as you have? I think we got a little delay there. Did you hear the question, Angela?
I'm sorry, I'm losing you.
Okay. We may be having some audio
I'm sorry.
issues. We'll try to get her back on. Yep. Sorry about that. Well, I'm going to ask you the same question, Tyler, because you and I have talked a lot about, your bio really expands the understanding of what drives you. But let's just start there. What brought you to your profession in the business world of teaching business owners how to protect themselves, protect their assets, and doing it in such an upright and honest, virtuous way?
Well, I mean, it started 16 years ago when I became an entrepreneur myself, and I've started, founded, grown, and scaled multiple different businesses. And along with that, whenever you're a young person, young man, young woman, and you're starting out in business and starting those businesses on your own, there's a ton of things. You may be really, really good at what you do, but there's a ton of things about owning a business that you just don't know. And so having that experience and gain that knowledge and that wisdom over the years, and just the mistakes I made led me to want to help other entrepreneurs not have to go through some of the school of hard knocks that I had to go through. And so just my love for business and my love for seeing people succeed led me to where I'm at now, as far as helping business owners grow and scale their business. So,
Reed, what's the most rewarding aspect? I know you started out in the investing, and I think you did some flipping of houses, if I recall, early on. But now in the straight real estate world, I guess there's all kinds of real estate, but doing what you're doing, I called it the straight real estate world, like that's the purest of real estate. I don't know if that's even true. But what is the most rewarding aspect of your work? And then what, on the flip side, what's the most challenging?
Well, I would say the most rewarding aspect is helping first-time home buyers buy a home. That comes to mind immediately. When somebody gets the keys to their first home, that's a wonderful feeling. And, helping them take that first step, not only towards home ownership, but really, purchasing a home and starting that process of building equity is like one of the first major steps in really building wealth. So helping them do that is very rewarding. As far as the most challenging aspect, I certainly don't want to speak poorly about other agents, but sometimes some other agents can be challenging to work with. And
let's name them on air right now, Reed. If we
yeah, okay. So I have this list that I can pull out. No, but there's just like any other business. Everybody takes a slightly different approach, and there are plenty of outstanding realtors in Dallas Fort Worth, and then there are plenty that I would describe as less than outstanding. We'll just say that.
In the financial services world, the same thing exists.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I can totally understand that. Laura, let's kind of take it a little bit different. How do you define success in your role working with businesses in a wide variety of ways? You wake up and you say, man, you go to bed at night saying, man, today I succeeded. Today I did something very valuable. How do you define that?
Oh, I guess it's different every day, but seeing the plan that I've helped our clients come up with, either for their business, for their estate plan, for their family, seeing it work, and seeing them feel better, that when they know that they're protected, that if something happens to them, their family, their business, we have a plan in place and we can help them, and they don't need to worry about it anymore. So I really like bringing peace of mind and problem solving for our clients, just for their families, for their businesses, for everything. That there's no problem too big that we haven't got a solution for, and can help them through that.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to, and in your line of work, obviously every client is different, every business is different. So you don't, you're doing the same thing kind of, but every scenario is different. So it allows you to experience success in a variety of different ways, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. No family, no person, no business is exactly the same. Reed, your real estate business is different than another's real estate business. Tyler, your business is different than somebody else's. Your families are different. So yeah, it might be the same type of document, but what the body of that and the substance of it is going to be completely different. And so I really like figuring out that puzzle and making it work for everybody, and really customizing it to what exactly your needs, wants, wishes are.
Early on in our topic that we had in the last segment from earlier in the month, we talked about, and we've really talked about this in a number of topics, because in the social media world, story is very important when it comes to building know, like, and trust, right? Beyond your business, beyond what you're selling, beyond what your service is, your story is very important. So Assia, I want to ask you, what is it that, and I think you've shared this before, but I'd like, because obviously we have different listeners, different audience every time, but what is it that brought you into the world of childcare? Share that again with us, because it's a really good story as far as seeing a problem and then fixing it. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and I talk about this all the time, so I'm happy to do it. But
it's my favorite question.
Right, it's my favorite thing to answer. But yeah, my daughter was born, and that obviously, having a child changes everything. And for me, finding the right solution for her childcare was something that was top of mind. I knew that I had to get back to work. I knew I wanted to get back to work. I wanted to find something good for her, and I had assumed for some reason that I would go the nanny route. And once I started looking into it, I just mentally, I know there's great nannies out there, no shade to anyone, but mentally couldn't get on board with just one person responsible for her care. And I ended up touring a place next door to our office building. It was a childcare center. And I fell in love with the idea of the accountability, the fact that they had structure, they were licensed by the state. I just loved the whole setup of a childcare center. But as we spent some time there, we had a good experience, but I just felt like we could do it better, or I could do it better. I say we all the time, but it was me. So I felt like I could do it better. I felt like as a mother in this day and age, a lot of childcare centers are owned by either corporations or older couples or people who are franchising. That's where a majority of childcare owners are. And for me, I was a mom of young children, and I wanted to bring a more modern approach to what I was doing. So that was really important to me. I was pregnant with my second when I decided to start Windhaven right before COVID. So I really tested my resolve on whether or not I wanted to do this business. But my story and my background and why I wanted to do it was strong enough to get me through that, because it was for my children and for all the other children, including, of course, Laura's, but for all the other moms that I could give a peace of mind to, and all the other children that I could help care for. It was a really important thing for me.
Well, you're definitely not going to find Windhaven or Assia on Dateline anytime soon for anything going down. So that's, we don't have to worry about those terrible stories you see of childcare and just those early education. So you won't have to. That's the whole reason you exist, is to not go down that road.
That's right.
So we're going to go to break. When we come back, our final segment, we'll do a rapid fire question and answer. It's going to be fun with our guests and co-hosts. Then we'll do our final thoughts. So stick around. We'll be right back.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
Are you ready?
Rapid fire.
All right, as always, we end the show with rapid fire right before our wrap up. Here's the question: some true or false, some would you rather, some short answer, no long explanation, just the answer. We're going to go really quickly around the horn here. True or false? Start with Tyler. True or false, Tyler? You have a secret talent for singing in the shower. True or false?
True.
Excellent. Reed.
False. I don't even like the way. I don't like the way I sound, even if it's just me singing. It's hideous.
It's gonna be a true for me. Assia?
False.
Laura?
False.
Okay, that's so two of us. That's good. Would you rather travel to space or explore the depths of the ocean, Tyler?
Ocean.
Okay, Reed.
Space.
Space for me also. Assia.
Space.
I'm ocean.
Okay. Well, we got a what's the word for ocean explorer? Argonauts. Am I saying that right? I can't remember.
Aquanaut?
No.
Or is that just the kid show?
I think it's a kid show. Don't use that in official briefings or anything. That could be wrong. What's your favorite way to unwind after a long day, Laura?
I go to the gym.
Tyler.
Spend time with my family.
Reed, I feel like your and Laura's answer might be the same. I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely gym to work off the stress, no question.
Yeah, I like. I'm not anti-gym for working off stress, but I do love a good glass of whiskey and a nice cigar. Assia?
I like to read. I'm a big book fiction fan.
Okay, right back at you, Assia. If you could live in any country, where would it be?
Italy.
Okay, mine is actually Italy as well. Reed, what about you?
Texas. But no, if not for the United States, Italy would be way up there, no question. Like the Amalfi Coast in Italy.
Tyler?
I'm gonna go with Argentina.
Okay, I like that. Laura?
Nevis.
Where?
Nevis. It's technically St. Kitts, Nevis.
Oh, yeah. In the Caribbean, right?
Yeah. West Indies, yeah.
West Indies. Okay. Yeah, that just failed geography in front of everyone. So sorry about that. Last question. You prefer reading books or watching movies, Laura?
Books.
Assia?
Books.
Read.
I hate to say it, but it depends on what it is. I would say most of the time books, but occasionally there are some movies where I'm like, wow, they portrayed this story better than I imagined it when I was reading the book.
I feel you on that. Tyler?
Books.
I think most entrepreneurs are books, but I do appreciate a good movie like you read. Like I know we went to see The Darkest Hour together, and some of those big war movies are always really fascinating. Well, guys, we're going to put 45 seconds up on the clock for everyone. Give us your final thoughts, what you enjoyed about the show today, what you're looking forward to coming up. We'll start with you, Laura, 45 seconds.
Well, I really enjoyed the show today. It gave me a lot of food for thought, a lot of things I need to look at and consider opening, and really showing me that, building foundation of trust and transparency would really help facilitate not just generating revenue and other referrals, but in helping in all aspects of business development and personal development.
Well, awesome. We're glad you're here. Definitely want to connect with you offline as well. Tyler, 45 seconds to you, sir.
I definitely enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about Laura and Reed, and just spend some time creating a little bit of a strategic relationship here. And one of the things I really appreciated was, even though I didn't get to chime in on it, was talking about influencers. And one of the things I think about when I think about partnering with any influencer is you have to really know who you are as a person, and you have to know what your brand stands for to make it equitable for that influencer. So really enjoyed the conversation on that.
That's a really good point. Reed, 45 seconds to you, sir.
Yeah, like Tyler said, the segment where we talked about the importance of influencer partnerships, that's, like I said earlier, developing those partnerships is on my to-do list, but it's down on my to-do list. And I've realized, based on this conversation, that it could certainly be beneficial. And the key is to establish those relationships in a mutually beneficial way.
You might need to bump it up the list a little bit after this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Yeah.
And Assia, finally to you, 45 seconds.
Yeah, I always enjoy being on with you and Tyler and meeting all the new guests. Reed, it was lovely to meet you, and Angela, who had to jump off. And of course, having Laura on today. Thank you for joining me. She is a force, and I have always appreciated that. So I definitely wanted to be able to highlight her. Of course, she is a client of mine, but I wanted to make sure that she got some airtime because I really, really enjoy getting to know her and love what she does. So it's always just nice to be able to bring people on and have these conversations that always open up more avenues for what I could be doing better in my business and what we could all be working on together.
I think that's a perfect way of summing up what we do and what we're about here, guys. Come join us tomorrow night, 5 p.m. at Voodoo Brewery. We have our Community Difference Happy Hour. They're going to be having a vendor event there. It's called Christmas in July. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, here's the happy hour tomorrow at 5 o'clock. If you haven't been, it really is some of the craziest, awesomest craft beers. Awesomest is not a word, but it is now. Also, then Saturday morning, our inaugural Community Difference Business Development Alliance mixer at the Choctaw Club at Comerica Arena in Frisco, Texas, in partnership with the Frisco Fighters and the Dallas Stars. So we will see you guys back here. Won't be next week. We're off on our 5th week, so we don't have a 5th week show, but back in August, the first week of August. So, we look forward to seeing you then. Have a blessed day. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Plano was made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Jim Thomas, business consultant and business funding expert, Tyler Clifton with Harvest Business Solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Assia Mahmood with Windhaven Academy, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, Scott Johnson with Fireboss Realty, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, and by Megan Shopper with the Hive of the Happily Insured. Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference.